Hello student, myself Nimesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In my last lecture, I start new chapter number 12, broadband and frequency scanning antenna. So now we discuss the part 2 of this chapter. So here, first one we discuss about the frequency independent antenna. The antenna which are simple, small, lightweight, economical, and importantly operating over the entire frequency band are most desired. Such antenna are referred to as frequency independent antenna. These antenna are used in a 10 to 10,000 megahertz region for practical application such as TV, point-to-point communication, feed for reference, reflector or lens. So there are many applications in the frequency range between the 10 to 10 megahertz. This antenna are used like in the TV, point-to-point communication, as a feeding to the reflector antenna or in a lens antenna. Rimsey proposed a general shape equation which has frequency independent impedance, pattern and polarization characteristics. So now we discuss about Rimsey principle. Rimsey states that the performance of the lossless antenna is independent of frequency if the dimension of antenna are specified in terms of angle such that they remain constant in terms of wavelength. So this is the Rimsey principle. This requirement can be fulfilled by any antenna if its equating in the sphere to e raised to a theta plus phi 0 into m theta. Here this f theta is the function of the theta. The coordinate system for equiangular spiral antenna is as shown in this figure. Assuming that antenna is perfectly conducting and it is surrounded by a isotropic homogeneous medium. So here we assume the antenna is perfectly conducting and it is surrounded by the isotropic homogeneous medium. Let the antenna surface is defined by r is equals to f theta phi, where r is the distance along the surface or edge. If the antenna is to be scaled to frequency k time lower than the original frequency, then the maintained same electric dimension, the physical surface of the antenna should be made k time greater. Then the new surface can be defined as r dash is equals to k into f theta phi. And here this k is the constant independent of the theta and phi. Now the two surfaces are similar and congruent if both are infinite. Their congruence can be proved only through the rotation of phi. As both the surfaces have their terminal at origin, translation is not allowed. So also the rotation in theta is not allowed because both the pair of the terminal are symmetrical disposed along the theta is equals to 0 pi axis. So to have the congruence of the second surface with the first one, the surface must be rotated by an angle c, such that k f theta phi is equals to f theta phi plus c. For unrestricted value of the k, the pattern will rotate by angle c in a phi with the frequency, but the shape will remain same. Thus, pattern and impedance will be frequency independent. For 0 less than k less than or equals to infinite, differentiating equation number 4 with respect to c, so we get d by dc is equals to k into f theta phi. So d by dc into, instead of the f theta phi, we can write as a f theta phi plus c. So now we can write this equation as dk, we take the k as a constant, dk by dc is equals to f theta phi is equals to d by d phi c is equals to f theta phi c. Now differentiating equation number 4 with respect to phi. So we can write d by d phi is equals to k f theta phi is equals to d by d phi is equals to f theta phi plus c. So we take the k is a constant, so we can write as a k d f theta phi by d phi is equals to d phi c into f theta phi c, phi plus c. Now equating equation number 5 and equation number 6, so we get dk by dc f theta phi is equals to k d by d phi f theta phi. Now from equation number 2, df theta phi is equals to r. So we can write, instead of the f theta phi is equals to r, so in the left hand side we put dk by dc into r, and in the right hand side, instead of the f theta phi we put the r. So we can write a k dr by d phi. So now we take the derivation, or we can simply write this equation as 1 upon k. Now we have multiplied 1 upon k on the both the side. So we can write 1 upon k dk by dc is equals to 1 upon r dr by d phi. In a general solution for the surface r is equals to d f theta phi is given by r is equals to f theta phi is equals to e raised to a phi f theta, where a is nothing but the 1 upon k dk by dc and f theta is arbitrary function. Now we discuss about the next one type of antenna, is a log periodic antenna. See, this is the figure of the log periodic antenna. A log periodic antenna comes under a class of antenna which are based on the log periodic principle. Such log periodic principle ensure very large bandwidth with a very good directivity. A log periodic antenna consists of dipole and other basic elements which are arranged in a such form that it forms constant angle array. The basic realization of log periodic antenna is as shown in this figure. The main feature of above structure is that the radius of the arm which define the location of the successive teeth are with constant ratio given by tau is equals to Rn plus 1 upon Rn. The property exhibited by the structure at frequency f will be represented at a frequency given by tau raised to n into pi. When these frequencies are plotted on the logarithm scale, it is observed all are scaled equally with period equal to logarithm of tau. Because of such unique property, antenna is named as a log periodic antenna. So due to this property, this antenna is known as the log periodic antenna. Now, log periodic dipole array. The log periodic antenna is broadband antenna, in which the geometry of the antenna structure is adjusted such that all the electric property of the antenna are repeat periodically with the logarithm of the frequency. Thus, the basic geometric structure is represented with the structure side change. For every repetition, the structure side changes by a constant scale factor with which the structure can either expand or contract. Thus, the principle of the log periodic antenna can be understood with the help of the array of log periodic antenna, and it is known as log periodic dipole array. A typical log periodic dipole array consists a number of dipole of different length and spacing. The feed line is connected at the narrow end. We can see in the figure, the feed line is connected at the narrow end, apex of the array. The dipole length and the spacing between the adjacent dipole are related through the parameter is called design ratio, or in other words we can say scale ratio, which is denoted by the tau. The relation between the Sn and the Sn plus 1 and Ln plus 1 is given by Sn by Sn plus 1 is equals to Ln by Ln plus 1 is equals to tau. The same expression can be written in terms of K as Sn plus 1 upon Sn is equals to Ln plus 1 upon Ln is equals to 1 upon tau, and we can write the 1 upon tau is equals to K. Depending on the length of the dipole, we get three regions, namely inactive transmission line region, there is a L is less than lambda by 2, then active region where the L is equals to lambda by 2, and last one is a inactive stop region where the L is greater than lambda by 2. To find the relationship between the apex angle, spacing S and the L, consider a part of the log periodic array as shown in this figure. So from this figure, we can write the tan alpha is equals to Ln plus 1 minus Ln by 2 upon S. We can also write tan alpha is equals to Ln plus 1 minus Ln upon 2S. So we have just simplified the above equation. So tan alpha is equals to 1 minus 1 upon Ln plus 1 into Ln plus 1 upon 2L. So here we have taken the Ln plus 1 is the common. So now we arrange this equation. So we can write that Ln plus 1 upon Ln is equals to K, or we can also say Ln upon Ln plus 1 is equals to 1 upon K. So now we use this. So we can write that tan alpha is equals to 1 minus 1 upon K into Ln plus 1 upon 2L. So this is the equation for the tan alpha. For active region, Ln plus 1 is equals to lambda by 2. So we can write the tan alpha is equals to 1 minus 1 upon K. Ln plus 1 equals to lambda by 2 upon 2S. So we get tan alpha is equals to 1 minus 1 upon K upon 4 S by lambda. So normally we can write this equation as tan alpha is equals to 1 minus 1 upon K upon 4SK. And here the alpha is the apex angle, K is the scale factor, and this SK is nothing but the S by lambda is the spacing in the wavelength. The length of any element, say n plus 1 element, and the length of the first element is related as Ln plus 1 upon L1 is equals to K raised to n is equals to F. The relation between the apex angle alpha, scale factor K, and the spacing Sk with optimum design line and the gain is represented in this figure. The number of the elements in the array can be obtained from the upper frequency Fu and the lower frequency Fl as given below, like log fu minus log fl is equals to n minus 1 into log 1 by k. Now we calculate one example for this case. So to design the log periodic dipole array having the scale factor k is equals to 0.895 and the spacing is given sk is equals to 0.166 or the frequency range 10 MHz to 30 MHz. So here from the design curve we get the directivity is equals to 8.5 dB and k is given k is equals to 0.895 and sk is given the 0.166. So from the design curve we get the value directivity is equal to 8.5. The apex angle can be obtained by using this equation like tan alpha is equals to 1 minus k upon 4sk. So we have the value of the k. Now we put the value of the k and sk in this equation. So we get the alpha is equals to 0.15813. Tan alpha is equals to 0.15813. So we get the alpha is equals to 8.99 degree. Now the number of elements in the array is given by log fu minus fl is equals to n minus 1 into log 1 upon k. Fu is the higher frequency 30 MHz and fl is the lower frequency 10 MHz and k we have the value. So we get n is equals to 10.9035. So we can say that n is equals to 11. So the number of elements in this equation in this example is the 11. Now we calculate the length of the dipole. The length of the last dipole we can calculate by using this equation L11 is equals to 1 upon 2 into C by Fl. Now we have the value of the Fl. So we get the L11 is equals to, that means the length of the last one dipole is the 15 meters. Now we know this relationship Ln upon Ln plus 1 is equals to K and we have the value of the K is equals to 0.89. So from that we can calculate the L10, L9, L8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So we can calculate the value of this length of the different dipole like a 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 5. So from this equation we can calculate the length. Now the distance between a dipole is given by Sn is equals to Ln upon 2 tan alpha. So for n is equals to 1, we have the L1 upon 2 tan alpha. So we have the value of the L1. So by putting the value of the L1 and alpha, we get the S1. That means the spacing is equal to 15.633 meters. Same as we can calculate the S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, 7, S8, S9, S10 and S11. So here we have calculated the distance between dipole. So in this lecture, we have completed this chapter, broadband and frequency independent antenna. Thank you.